Well, salutations all my fellow beachgoers. Jay, the Myrtle Beach Encyclopedia here. And we have been up to a lot this past month. I cannot believe it is already almost the end of July. It's pretty much the end of July. I know you guys have probably been like, Jay, where have you been at? It's been forever. We miss you over here on this side of YouTube. Don't worry, guys. Your buddy Jay has still been adventuring. We have still been out and about. But of course, as always, we needed a little bit of time to rest and reset and unwind for a bit. But we have still been adventuring. That rest time is important too. So to all my fans, make sure you get your rest. Take some time to reset. But we have never left. We are still here and still ripping and running and still being adventurous. So that's always fun. We are still in business and we're back. So we have been up to a lot of shenanigans this past month and just this summer in general. It's literally been quite the adventurous month. It's been the, you know what? Why am I still here yapping? Roll the tape, Jay. So our shenanigans started off with a bright and sunny July 4th afternoon on the beach, and the weather was feeling super nice for getting out and exploring around. And the beach is always super packed on July 4th too, so you can definitely guarantee that every year. They had an honorary salute on the shore. And of course, they had some live music action over at GSB. Yeah, I always find myself spending a full day on the beach every year on the 4th. I mean, it's hard to resist since it's so nice and literally everyone is out that day.
Whew, yeah, guys. We have been on the beach all day today.
The ocean decided to talk over me, so I'll help myself out here. The blabbering you see is me explaining that this is the only time out of the year you'll see that area super packed at night. And of course, building up some anticipation for the beautiful fireworks over the ocean. Then the show of the hour finally starts around 8 o'clock sharp. Yeah, this immediately turned into a new tradition when I first got here. Literally nothing beats it. But you always gotta make sure to stay till the very end. And the show doesn't even stop there. People even bring their own fireworks. Yeah, when the main show is going, you're usually going to get a 2-in-1 with other people's fireworks, too. But all in all, it was your typical downtown Myrtle Beach July 4th festivity action. And before you know it, we were back at the boathouse. Yeah, it was our local favorite Julio and the Saltines band that was in the house partying with everyone that night. I was surprised to see that they added a female singer to the group, and she was really good too. It's never a shortage of a good time with Julio and the Saltines. He always knows how to get everybody on their feet. He's definitely a local favorite for all the right reasons. And they certainly always know how to get the crowd hyped up. And the crowd interaction is always one of the main highlights with these guys. There's just one thing that makes a Julio and the Saltines concert complete, though. The famous standing on top of a table or any high platform for that matter. It definitely wouldn't be complete without that. Yeah, it's a consensus amongst town that Julio is certainly one of the best. And I even stepped foot back in the tin roof green room. It had been years since I've seen that room, so it felt wild to be back in there after all that time. But then the biggest adventure of the month had arrived, and I found myself solo traveling for a little mini weekend getaway in New York City. I was definitely super excited. This was my first solo traveling adventure, so I was a little nervous but excited to get this show on the road. Funny enough, we found ourselves stuck in St. Louis, Missouri for 3 hours for our layover, but thankfully it went by pretty quickly and we were back on our merry little way to NYC. And once we arrived, we couldn't get off without a quick little mini concert from our jazz singer flight attendant.
Delta or Frontier, Alaska or even JetBlue, Southwest, nobody loves you like Southwest. Low fares and warm hospitality too. We're crazy, crazy about making you love us. We're crazy about trying to make you choose flying. Only Southwest, because we love you. Thanks for choosing Southwest and welcome to New York.
And LaGuardia Airport, I have to say, is one of the fanciest airports that they have in NY. Yeah, one thing about solo traveling or traveling in general is that it's always going to be a workout. Still wondering what they were filming here. It was such a bright and sunny day in NYC, and I could never resist getting intrigued by the city skyline riding anywhere in those parts. It's always such a beautiful sight. You're probably asking by now, Jay, what exactly were you doing in NYC? Well, let's just say I was raving under a bridge. But in all seriousness, I experienced my first rave festival while I was there, and it was super amazing. Yeah, it was Breakaway New York City weekend, and it was honestly one for the books.
I guess that you'll never know.
Yeah, it was absolute insanity and so many people and so much great music. I even saw one of my favorite EDM legends, Tiesto, there. And of course, I couldn't go there without making a ton of new friends. It was certainly a wild experience and definitely something I'd do all over again. I can now cross raving under a bridge off of my list. So then the next day we were set to travel back, and it was a little soggy in the city that morning to early afternoon. It had even stormed hard that morning, but thankfully it got better as the day progressed, and we were able to walk around the city and explore for a little bit. And of course, your typical Times Square photo ops were standing there waiting for you. And who doesn't love the good old Times Square? I always make it a mission to make a pit stop there when I'm in NY. But I ended up inadvertently walking into some live World Cup action while I was there. The Argentina team reps were there doing interviews, and I think it's safe to say I inadvertently ended up on live TV somehow. But this was the part that really got me. Yeah, that's when Times Square turned into one big celebratory hype ground for the team. It was honestly so crazy ending up in the middle of all that, but I can't even lie, I have to say optically it was pretty cool. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. And they even ended up having a huge parade down there, and of course everybody had to walk over to go see it. Then of course more celebratory action ensued back over on the other side. And it wasn't getting any calmer either. I mean, this is the type of stuff you see in NYC. Turns out Times Square was just one of the more ideal spots to be that afternoon, hilariously enough. These people were certainly in the spirit. Yeah, this is just one of those things you had to be lucky enough to be there for. But all in all, I had a great time in New York City, and that pretty much did it for our time there. It was definitely a tiring but great solo traveling experience, and I'd definitely do it all over again for sure. But once I got back home, I was invited to a little influencer tea party by my friend Ashley, and it felt so good to be back and spend a nice afternoon with my friends here in Myrtle. We even did some fun trends with each other, and that honestly made it twice as fun.
I'm gonna show you just one example because I want you guys to. You're taking pictures or?
I've seen this trend before. So
I have not. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so now we're at.
1, 2, 3, go.
I follow you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. I should have have the mic there.
When are we booking this appointment?
It was a lovely afternoon and a nice little welcome back to my nice little family here in Myrtle. We always have a great time with each other, and it made it feel even more good to be back home. Oh, hey guys. You guys are still here? You guys really stayed for all that, huh? Whew. Stayed for all our craziness this July? Well, there you have it. That's July in a nutshell. We have been busy, as always. This guy is always up to something. Even though sometimes we have to rest up and rejuvenate for a bit. Trust me, this guy is always on the scene. But yeah, guys, I felt good to give you guys a glimpse into all our shenanigans that we've been up to this summer. Of course, more adventures are on the horizon. We still got more adventures that you guys haven't seen. That just comes with the territory of being the encyclopedia. You always on the scene. But I have a good time, and I'm sure you guys have a good time watching. It's definitely a journey. It's definitely a blast. But on that note, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And remember, there's no home like the beach.
You're watching Jay, the Myrtle Beach Encyclopedia.